The stars shined like tiny diamonds against the black canvas of space. The human battlecruiser Dauntless moved slowly through this darkness, its massive engines humming with power. Captain Jun-Ho Kim sat in his command chair, back straight, eyes fixed on the main view screen. "Status report," he said, his voice calm but firm. Lieutenant Hyun-Woo Park looked up from his console. "All systems normal, Captain. We're maintaining standard patrol route along the outer colony defense line." Captain Kim nodded. The Dauntless was the pride of Earth's Defense Force, minus 360 meters of hardened armor plating, advanced weapon systems, and the best crew humanity had to offer. For 3 weeks, they had patrolled this sector without incident. Some crew members were getting bored. Captain Kim knew better. In space, boredom was a luxury. "Sir," called out Ensign Dae-Jung Lee from the sensor station, "I'm picking up something strange at the edge of our scanning range." Kim turned his chair. "Define strange, Ensign." "Energy signature doesn't match any known human vessel or asteroid mining operation," Lee replied, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "It's moving in a pattern that suggests artificial control." The bridge fell quiet. Everyone understood what this might mean. "First contact," whispered Lieutenant Soo Jin-yoon from the science station. Captain Kim pressed a button on his chair. "All hands, battle stations. This is not a drill. I repeat, battle stations." He turned to his weapons officer. "Major Han, power up defensive systems, but keep weapons locked. We're not here to start a war." The ship came alive with activity. Crew members who had been eating in the mess hall or relaxing in their quarters rushed to their positions. In the armory, Colonel Jae-Yun Choi supervised as her security team checked their equipment. "Remember your training," she told them. "If we have visitors, we show strength but not aggression." Back on the bridge, the tension grew as the unknown object came closer. "Can we get a visual?" Captain Kim asked. "Attempting now, sir," Ensign Lee replied. The main screen flickered, then showed a distant shape against the stars. It looked nothing like any human ship. Where human vessels were angular and sturdy, built to withstand combat, this ship was curved like a leaf, with delicate extensions that seemed to catch the light of nearby stars. "It's beautiful," Lieutenant Yoon said. "And completely alien," added Lieutenant Park. "No visible weapons ports that I can detect." Captain Kim leaned forward. "Are they scanning us?" "No, sir," Park replied. "Wait. Correction. We're now detecting an energy beam directed at our ship. It appears to be some kind of scanning technology, but nothing like our own." Kim nodded. First contact protocols were clear. Let them look, gather information, and avoid hostile actions unless threatened. Let them scan. Monitor what systems they're accessing, but don't block them unless they try to access weapons or propulsion controls. Aboard the Galactic Coalition scout ship Harmonic Seeker Science Officer Zell-Torak's 4 eyes widened as the scan results began to appear on the floating display before him. "Captain Vress, I'm getting unusual readings from the alien vessel," Zell-Torak said, his translator converting his natural chittering speech into the standard coalition language. Captain Vress, a tall, slender being with pale blue skin and large, sideways blinking eyes, moved gracefully across the bridge. Like all members of the Trescian species, Vress had evolved from herd animals on a world with few predators. This evolutionary history had shaped not just Trescian biology, but their entire approach to technology and society. Peaceful, cooperative, and focused on consensus. "What kind of readings, Science Officer?" Vress asked. "The vessel configuration is unlike anything in our database," Zell-Torak explained, his lower arms adjusting the scan parameters while his upper arms gestured at the display. "The hull is reinforced far beyond what would be necessary for simple space travel or protection against micrometeorites." Fleet Commander Osric's voice came through the ship's communication system. "As the highest-ranking officer in this sector, Osric had ordered this mission after unusual energy signatures were detected. Any signs of technological level? Osric asked. Their propulsion system appears to be a form of fusion drive, moderately advanced. Zeltoric replied. But their ship design is concerning. Elaborate, Osric commanded. The vessel appears to be designed primarily as a weapons platform. Zeltoric said, his voice dropping to a low chirp that indicated distress in his species. Multiple areas that can only be weapon emplacements. Internal reinforcement suggests it's built to withstand significant damage. And the crew? Zeltoric paused, adjusting his scanners again as if hoping for different results. The crew's biology is most unusual. They appear to be carbon-based, bipedal, but with traits that suggest a predatory evolutionary path. Captain Vress blinked rapidly, a sign of alarm. In the 3,000 years of the Galactic Coalition's history, they had encountered 16 other spacefaring species. All had evolved from herbivores, omnivores with predominantly plant-based diets or filter feeders. The idea of predators achieving spaceflight was considered highly unlikely by coalition xenobiologists. Predator species tended toward territorial aggression and individualism, traits that made the cooperation necessary for advanced technological development difficult. Predatory. Are you certain? Vress asked. Their eyes are forward-facing, suggesting depth perception for hunting, Zeltoric explained. Their teeth contain both grinding surfaces and sharp tearing points. Omnivores with significant meat-eating capabilities. Their muscle density is remarkable, and their endoskeletal structure suggests creatures evolved for pursuit and combat. Fleet Commander Osric's voice trembled slightly. Are they aware of our scan? Almost certainly, Zeltoric replied. Their sensor technology appears sophisticated enough to detect our activities, yet they've made no attempt to block our scan or take aggressive action. Perhaps they're peaceful despite their biology, suggested Navigator Pelm, the youngest crew member. Zeltoric adjusted his scan to focus on the ship's interior. Their vessel contains dedicated areas that appear to be for physical combat training, and others for. He paused, manipulating the controls with all four hands now. For simulated combat scenarios, they practice warfare as recreation. A collective silence fell over the coalition bridge. The concept was alien to them in the truest sense, not just foreign but almost incomprehensible. In coalition culture, conflict resolution was achieved through careful negotiation and consensus building. The idea of simulating violence for training or entertainment was disturbing on a fundamental level. Continue the scan, Osric ordered after a long pause. I want complete information before we decide how to proceed. Back on the Dauntless Asterisk, Lieutenant Park monitored the alien scan. They're going deep, Captain. Environmental systems, crew quarters, even the gym and rec room. Captain Kim remained calm. Let them look. First impressions matter. In the ship's recreation room, Petty Officer Jun Seo Kang was engaged in a virtual reality combat simulation, fighting digital opponents in a historical recreation of the Battle of Mars. His movements were quick and precise, the result of years of training. In the mess hall, crew members ate synthesized protein that resembled traditional Korean beef dishes. Their ancestors had evolved as persistent hunters on the African savanna, and their bodies still craved the nutrients found in meat. In the medical bay, Dr. Taeyum Kang treated a crewman's broken finger, using advanced regeneration technology that had evolved from humanity's long history of treating combat wounds. All these normal, everyday human activities were being observed by alien eyes that had never seen anything like them before. Captain, Lieutenant Yum called out from the science station. I've been analyzing the alien vessel's design. There's something odd about it. Explain, Kim said. No visible weapon systems. The hull is thin, almost delicate. It would never survive even a minor skirmish. It's as if they've never needed to fight, Kim finished her thought. Interesting. Lieutenant Park's console suddenly beeped. Captain, they're powering up their engines. The scan has stopped. Are they preparing weapons? Kim asked. No weapons detected, sir. It appears they're retreating. Captain Kim considered this for a moment. Open a channel, all frequencies, universal greeting package. Channel open. Sir. Kim stood, straightening his uniform. This is Captain Jun-Ho Kim of the Earth Defense Force vessel *, Dauntless *. We come in peace and wish to establish friendly contact. They waited. No response came as the alien ship accelerated away. They're gone, sir, Lieutenant Park reported. Jumped to faster than light travel. Captain Kim returned to his seat, frowning. Send a complete report to Earth Command. Include all scan data we gathered on their vessel. Do you think they'll be back, Captain? Asked Lieutenant Yoon. Kim stared at the stars on the view screen, thinking of the strange ship with no weapons that had fled after scanning them. Yes, Lieutenant, he said finally. I think they'll be back. And next time, they won't be alone. 3 days had passed since the alien ship disappeared. The *Dauntless * maintained its patrol route, but the crew's routine had changed. Everyone was more alert now. They knew they were no longer alone in the universe. Captain Jun-Ho Kim sat in his private quarters, reviewing the scan data they had collected from the alien vessel. His door chimed. Enter, he said. Dr. Taeyong Kang, the ship's chief medical officer and xenobiologist, walked in carrying a tablet. Captain, I've completed my analysis of the alien biology from our sensor readings, Dr. Kang said. Kim gestured to a chair. Tell me. Dr. Kang sat down and placed the tablet on the desk between them. They're nothing like us, Captain. The aliens we encountered appear to be herbivores. Their teeth are flat, designed for grinding plant matter. Their eyes are positioned on the sides of their heads, typical of prey species that need wide fields of vision to watch for predators. Prey species, Kim repeated. That would explain the lack of weapons on their ship. Exactly, Dr. Kang nodded. In Earth's evolutionary history, prey animals develop different social structures than predators. They focus on cooperation and large group protection. If these aliens evolved from similar origins, their entire civilization might be built around consensus and collective security. Captain Kim frowned. And then they met us. Yes, Dr. Kang said quietly. Humans, apex predators who evolved through hunting. Forward-facing eyes for tracking prey, bodies built for endurance pursuit, teeth for tearing meat. Kim stood up and walked to the small window in his quarters. Stars streaked by as the *Dauntless * continued its patrol. You're saying they ran because they were afraid of us. I believe so, Captain. To them, we might appear as monsters. The Grand Council chamber of the Galactic Coalition hummed with nervous energy. Representatives from 17 spacefaring species gathered in the massive circular room. At the center stood Fleet Commander Osric, Science Officer Xel-Torak, and Captain Vress. High Elder Zelfin, the oldest and wisest of the Trescian species, spoke first. His voice was gentle but carried throughout the chamber. You have called this emergency session. Explain what you have discovered that requires such urgent attention. Fleet Commander Osric stepped forward. 3 days ago, one of our scout ships encountered an unknown vessel in the outer reaches of Sector 7. The vessel belonged to a previously undiscovered spacefaring species. Murmurs spread through the chamber. New species were rare and usually cause for celebration. But the tension in Osric's voice suggested otherwise. Science Officer Xel-Torak conducted a scan of the alien vessel and its crew. Osric continued. His findings are disturbing. Xel-Torak moved to the center of the chamber. His 4 arms activated a holographic display that showed images of the human ship *Dauntless *. This vessel is called the *Dauntless *. Xel-Torak explained. It is a warship, a vessel designed primarily for combat. More murmurs, louder now. The concept of a dedicated warship was foreign to most coalition species. Their ships were built for exploration, science, or transportation, with defensive capabilities added only as a precaution. The ship's design includes multiple weapon systems, heavily armored hull plating, and internal compartments reinforced to withstand battle damage. Zell-Torek continued. He changed the display to show diagrams of human anatomy based on their scans. The crew members of this vessel call themselves humans. Their biology shows clear signs of predatory evolution. The chamber erupted in shocked exclamations. Elder Zelfin raised a hand for silence. "Explain further," he commanded. "The humans have forward-facing eyes, giving them excellent depth perception, a trait evolved for hunting. Their teeth contain sharp canines for tearing flesh. Their muscles and skeletal structures suggest they evolved as pursuit predators. Most significantly, their brains show enlarged areas associated with strategic thinking and spatial awareness, traits necessary for hunting and warfare." The holographic display changed again, showing images captured from the ship's interior. The training room where crew members practiced hand-to-hand combat, the recreation area where others engaged in battle simulations, the mess hall where they consumed synthesized meat products. "Their culture appears to embrace their predatory nature," Zell-Torek said. "They train regularly for physical combat. They consume the flesh of other creatures, albeit synthesized on their ship. And most concerning, they engage in activities that simulate warfare as a form of recreation." Elder Zelfin's large eyes blinked slowly. "Are they hostile?" "That remains unclear," Captain Vress answered. "They made no aggressive moves toward our scout ship. In fact, when we retreated, they attempted to establish communication. But their very nature suggests a capacity for violence unknown in our society," Zell-Torek added. "Their ship, their biology, their culture, all point to a species that has evolved through conflict rather than cooperation." Elder Zelfin turned to address the full council. "In 3,000 years of the Galactic Coalition, we have encountered 16 other spacefaring species. All evolved from herbivores or peaceful omnivores. All built societies based on cooperation and consensus. Now we face something entirely new, predators who have achieved spaceflight." The room fell silent as the full implications became clear. Back on Earth, the highest leaders of the United Nations Space Command gathered in an underground facility to discuss the Dauntless report. Admiral Yang, commander of Earth's defense fleet, addressed the assembled officials. "Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Kim's encounter appears to confirm that we are not alone in the universe. The alien vessel conducted a scan of the Dauntless and then withdrew without hostile action." "Did we learn anything about them?" asked Director Choi of the Science Division. "Limited information. Their technology is different from ours, but not necessarily more advanced. Their ship lacked visible weapon systems and had minimal armor. Captain Kim's science officer believes they may be a herbivorous species based on the biological readings they obtained." General Park leaned forward. "Herbivores? In space? That seems unlikely." "Not necessarily," Dr. Lee, the chief xenobiologist, interjected. "Earth's evolutionary path led to predators developing intelligence, but that's just one possibility. On a world with fewer threats, herbivores might have had the stable social structures needed to develop advanced technology." "The question is," Admiral Yang continued, "what happens next? The aliens now know we exist. They've seen our ships, scanned our biology. If Dr. Lee is correct, and they are indeed herbivores, they may find us threatening." The room grew quiet as everyone considered this possibility. "We should prepare for all scenarios," General Park said finally. "If they return in peace, we welcome them. If they return with hostile intent, we'll be ready," Admiral Yang finished. On the Dauntless Lieutenant Hyun-Woo Park suddenly straightened at his console. "Captain, multiple FTL signatures detected at the edge of our sensor range." Captain Kim rushed to the bridge from his quarters. "How many?" "At least 20 ships, sir. Similar configuration to the vessel we encountered earlier, but larger." "Battle stations," Kim ordered calmly. "Shields up. but weapons remain locked. Lieutenant Yoon, prepare our first contact package again. Let's try to talk before anything else. The crew moved with practiced efficiency. In the security section, Colonel Jae-yun Choi and her team checked their weapons. "Do you think it will come to boarding actions, Colonel?" asked a young security officer. "I hope not," Colonel Choi replied. "But we prepare for everything." On the bridge, the main view screen showed the approaching alien fleet. The ships moved in perfect formation, their sleek designs catching the light from a distant star. "They're surrounding us, Captain," Lieutenant Park reported, keeping their distance at 5,000 kilometers. Captain Kim nodded. "Open a channel. All frequencies." "Channel open, sir." Kim stood tall. "This is Captain Junho Kim of the Earth vessel Dauntless *. We come in peace and wish to establish friendly relations." For several tense moments, there was no response. Then, a voice came through the ship's speakers, a strange musical sound translated by the computer into human language. "Human vessel. This is Elder Zelfin of the Galactic Coalition. Your kind is unknown to us. Your nature is concerning. We wish to understand your intentions in our space." Captain Kim took a deep breath. The first official communication between humanity and alien life had begun. But he could hear the fear in the alien's voice, even through the translation. "We have much to discuss, Elder Zelfin," he replied. "We are explorers seeking peaceful contact with other intelligent life. We mean no harm to your people." A pause, then. "Your vessel is designed for war, Captain Kim. Your species evolved as predators. These facts are difficult to reconcile with your claims of peace." Captain Kim looked around at his crew, seeing the tension on their faces. The next few minutes could determine the future relationship between humanity and this galactic coalition. "Perhaps," he said carefully, "we should meet face to face. Would you accept a small, unarmed shuttle carrying myself and 2 officers to discuss these matters in person?" Another long pause followed. "We will consider your request, Captain Kim. Until then, maintain your position and make no aggressive movements." The communication ended. On the bridge of the Dauntless *, surrounded by alien vessels, Captain Kim waited for a response that would determine the fate of first contact between humanity and the galaxy beyond. 4 hours pass as the Dauntless * waited, surrounded by the alien fleet. Captain Junho Kim used this time to prepare his crew. If the aliens allowed a face-to-face meeting, he needed the right team. "Dr. Kang, you'll come with me," he said in the briefing room. "Your knowledge of biology might help explain our differences." Dr. Tae-young Kang nodded. "I've been studying the scan data. Their biology is fascinating. Their nervous systems appear highly developed for sensing danger but less developed for aggression." "We need a third person," Captain Kim said. "Someone who understands both security protocols and diplomacy." "Colonel Choi would be the logical choice," Lieutenant Yoon suggested. Captain Kim nodded. "Agreed. Lieutenant Park, you'll have command of the Dauntless * while we're gone. If something goes wrong, your priority is the safety of this ship and crew. Get back to Earth and report everything." "Understood, Captain," Park replied, his face serious. "But nothing will go wrong because you'll come back safely." The communication system suddenly came to life. "Captain Kim, this is Elder Zelfin. We have discussed your request. We will allow a meeting, but with conditions. Your shuttle must be completely unarmed. You may bring 2 others as you suggested, but they must also be unarmed. Our scans will verify this." Captain Kim pressed the response button. "Agreed, Elder Zelfin. We accept your conditions. Coordinates are being transmitted to your vessel. We will expect you in 1 hour." The bridge crew looked at each other. This was happening. First official contact with an alien civilization. "Lieutenant Park, have the small shuttle prepared," Captain Kim ordered. "Dr. Kang, Colonel Choi, get ready." Aboard the Coalition flagship * Harmonious Unity *, Elder Zelfin faced opposition from several council representatives. "This is too dangerous," argued Representative Vex of the Palari species. "Allowing predators onto our vessel. They could attack. Our scans show there are only 3 of them coming." Elder Zelfin replied calmly. "We will have 50 security officers present." "It's not just about physical danger," said Science Director Mayo. "These humans could be psychologically unpredictable. Their brain chemistry suggests they produced high levels of adrenaline and other combat hormones." Elder Zelfin raised a hand for silence. "The decision is made. We must understand these humans if we are to determine whether they are a threat to the Coalition. And there is another fact you should consider." The room grew quiet. "Our long-range scans have detected 11 more human ships at the edges of this sector. They appear to be headed this way, though they are still days from arriving. If we wish to avoid potential conflict, understanding is our best path." Science Officer Sel Torek stepped forward. "I have prepared the meeting chamber with additional scanners. We will monitor the humans' biology during the encounter: heart rates, hormone levels, neural activity. This may help us determine their truthfulness and intentions." Elder Zelfin nodded. "Good. And the translation systems?" "Ready," Sel Torek confirmed, "though there may be cultural concepts that don't translate well." "Then we must listen carefully," Elder Zelfin said. "For the first time in our history, we face intelligent predators. Our response now may determine the future of the Coalition." The small shuttle launched from the Dauntless with Captain Kim, Dr. Kang, and Colonel Jae-yun Choi aboard. It was a simple vessel with minimal systems, just life support, communications, and basic propulsion. Colonel Choi checked her empty holster for the 5th time, uncomfortable without her sidearm. "I don't like being unarmed, Captain." "We're not unarmed, Colonel," Captain Kim replied. "We have knowledge, patience, and goodwill. Sometimes those are better weapons than plasma rifles." Dr. Kang looked up from her datapad. "Their flagship is enormous, at least 3 times the size of the Dauntless, but still no visible weapon systems that I can detect." As they approached, the alien flagship seemed to shimmer in the starlight. Its design was beautiful, curves and flowing lines unlike the practical, angular shapes of human vessels. "Their aesthetics are different," Dr. Kang noted. "They prioritize beauty over function in ways we wouldn't in military vessels." "Maybe they don't think of them as military vessels," Captain Kim suggested. "Their entire concept of space travel might be different from ours." A gentle light guided them to a docking port that adjusted to fit their shuttle's airlock. With a soft hiss, the connection was secure. "Ready?" Captain Kim asked his companions. They nodded, expressions serious but determined. The airlock door slid open, revealing a corridor bathed in soft blue light. Standing there were 3 alien beings. The tallest had pale blue skin, large eyes on the sides of its head, and moved with a grace that seemed almost unnatural. Next to it stood a smaller being with 4 arms and a chitinous exoskeleton. The third was broader, with gray-green skin and what appeared to be gill slits on its neck. "I am Elder Zelfin," said the tall blue being, its words translated by a small device. "Welcome aboard the Harmonious Unity flagship of the Galactic Coalition." Captain Kim stepped forward, keeping his movements slow and deliberate. "I am Captain Jun-Ho Kim of the Earth Defense Force vessel Dauntless. This is Dr. Tae-young Kang, our Chief Medical Officer and Xenobiologist, and Colonel Jae-yun Choi, our Security Chief." Elder Zelfin gestured to his companions, Science Officer Sel Torak and Security Director Prel. Captain Kim noticed how Prel watched Colonel Choi with particular attention, perhaps recognizing another security professional across the species barrier. "Please follow us," Elder Zelfin said. They walked through corridors that seemed to be alive, walls that glowed with soft light, floors that adjusted slightly to their footsteps. Human corridors were practical and efficient. These were designed for comfort and beauty. Finally, they entered a large, circular chamber. In the center was a table with seats designed for various body types. Around the edges of the room stood at least 30 alien security officers. Elder Zelfin gestured to the seats. "Please, sit." As they sat down, hidden scanners monitored the humans' biology. The aliens were surprised by what they saw. The humans' heart rates were elevated but within normal parameters for a stressful situation. Their hormone levels showed alertness but not aggression. Their neural patterns were complex but stable. "We have many questions," Elder Zelfin began. "As do we," Captain Kim replied. "But first, let me clarify something important. We came to this sector in peace. The Dauntless is a patrol vessel, yes, but our mission is exploration and protection of human colonies, not conquest." Elder Zelfin's large eyes blinked slowly. "Yet your vessel is designed for warfare. Your species evolved as predators. These facts concern us greatly." Dr. Kang spoke up. "If I may, Elder Zelfin. Yes, humans evolved as pursuit predators on our homeworld. Our ancestors hunted for food. But as we developed civilization, we moved beyond those origins. Our predatory past gave us certain traits: determination, strategic thinking, endurance, that helped us reach the stars. But we also developed empathy, art, philosophy, and a deep respect for life." Zeltorek chittered something that the translator rendered as skepticism. "Your ship contains weapons that could destroy cities. Your crew trains for combat regularly. Your entertainment simulates warfare. How do you reconcile these facts with your claims of peace?" Colonel Choi leaned forward slightly, causing several alien security officers to tense up. She noticed and leaned back again, keeping her hands visible on the table. "The universe is dangerous," she said simply. "We developed weapons because we needed to protect ourselves from natural disasters, asteroids, and the unknown. Yes, humans have fought wars among ourselves in the past. We learned hard lessons from those conflicts, but we've never encountered another intelligent species before today. We have no desire for war with you." The aliens exchanged glances. Their own evolutionary history had never included significant predators. The concept of developing weapons for protection against the unknown was foreign to them. They had developed defensive technologies only after achieving spaceflight and realizing the theoretical dangers of space debris and cosmic events. Elder Zelfin spoke after a long pause. "Your ships. We detected 11 more approaching this sector. Why?" Captain Kim nodded, expecting this question. "Standard protocol. When the Dauntless reported first contact, our command sent additional vessels to assist with diplomacy and ensure our safety. They are days away and will maintain distance unless invited closer. Or unless the Dauntless is threatened," Prell said, showing unexpected insight into human thinking. "Yes," Captain Kim acknowledged honestly. "We value the lives of our crew, but we don't want conflict." Elder Zelfin stood up and walked to a large view screen that suddenly appeared on one wall. It showed an image of Earth. "We've been observing your homeworld from a distance," he said. "A beautiful planet, but our scans show evidence of past conflicts, ruins, radiation from primitive nuclear weapons, divisions that suggest separate nations rather than planetary unity." "We don't hide our past," Captain Kim said. "Humans fought each other for resources, for ideologies, sometimes just for power. But we've moved beyond our worst impulses. The Earth Defense Force represents a united humanity." Zeltorek made a gesture with his four hands. "Yet you named it a defense force, not an exploration fleet or diplomatic corps. Your language betrays your priorities." Colonel Choi's expression hardened slightly. "With respect, we name things based on honesty. Our ships can fight if needed. Pretending otherwise would be deceptive." The aliens seemed startled by this blunt admission. In their culture, discussions of potential conflict were handled with careful euphemisms. Elder Zelfin returned to his seat. "You are not what we expected. Humans. You acknowledge your capacity for violence, yet claim peaceful intentions. You build weapons, yet speak of exploration. You are predators who create art and value diplomacy. We are complex, Dr. Kang said with a small smile. As I imagine your species are too. For the first time, Elder Zelfin's expression changed to something that might have been curiosity. Perhaps there is much we can learn from each other, if we can move past our mutual misunderstandings. The meeting between humans and the Galactic Coalition continued for several hours. Captain Junho Kim, Dr. Taeyong Kang, and Colonel Jae-yun Choi answered countless questions about Earth, human history, and their technology. In turn, they learned about the Coalition's 17-member species, all evolved from herbivores or filter feeders. So none of your species evolved as predators? Dr. Kang asked, her scientific curiosity obvious. None. Sel Torek confirmed. We believe this is why we achieved space travel through cooperation rather than competition. Our species never developed the concept of warfare until theoretical studies suggested its possibility. Elder Zelfin leaned forward. This leads to an important question, Captain Kim. If we establish diplomatic relations with humanity, how can we be certain your predatory instincts won't eventually lead to aggression against coalition worlds? The human captain considered this carefully. I understand your concern, Elder. But consider this. Humans have had spaceflight technology for over 200 years. We've had weapons that could destroy our entire planet for even longer. Yet we're still here. We learned to control our aggressive impulses because the alternative was extinction. Learning to control aggression is not the same as lacking it entirely, Security Director Prell noted. Colonel Choi nodded. You're right, and I won't pretend that humans are perfect. We still have disagreements, even conflicts, but we've developed systems to resolve them peacefully most of the time. Most of the time? Sel Torek asked, picking up on the qualification. Dr. Kang stepped in. Our history is complex, but each generation of humans has become more peaceful than the last. We've learned that cooperation achieves more than conflict. Elder Zelfin seemed to consider this. Perhaps it is your predatory past that makes this lesson so meaningful for your species. When those who can fight choose not to, it carries more weight than when those who cannot fight do the same. It was a profound observation. The humans exchanged glances, surprised by the elder's insight. The conversation was interrupted when a young coalition officer rushed into the room, speaking rapidly in their native language. The translator struggled to keep up, but the humans caught words like urgent and detection. Elder Zelfin turned to Captain Kim. A situation has developed. Long-range sensors have detected an unknown vessel approaching at high speed. It matches neither human nor coalition design. Pirates, Security Director Prell said grimly. We have encountered such groups before. Outcasts who reject coalition laws and prey on isolated ships. Captain Kim stood up. Let me return to the dauntless asterisk. We can help defend against this threat. The coalition leaders looked at each other uncertainly. The idea of inviting a predator species to join in combat was both frightening and tempting. These pirates, Colonel Choi asked, how well armed are they? Their ships are stolen and modified with illegal weapons, Prell explained. Coalition vessels are not designed primarily for combat. We rely on overwhelming numbers for defense. But you don't have overwhelming numbers here, Dr. Kang pointed out. Just your diplomatic fleet. Elder Zelfin made a decision. Captain Kim, your offer of assistance is accepted. This may be an opportunity to demonstrate your peaceful intentions through actions rather than words. Back aboard the dauntless asterisk, Captain Kim called his officers to the bridge. The situation has changed. A pirate vessel is approaching the coalition fleet. They've accepted our offer to help defend against this threat. Lieutenant Park looked surprised. They're trusting us to fight alongside them. Sometimes trust must begin somewhere, Captain Kim said. This is our chance to show we can be protectors, not just warriors. Major Han, power up weapons systems, but maintain targeting control. We want precision, not destruction. Are we certain these pirates deserve our intervention? Asked Lieutenant Yoon. We know very little about local politics. Elder Zelfin was clear. These are criminals who attack peaceful ships. The coalition doesn't have warships like ours. Their vessels are scientific and diplomatic. If these pirates have armed themselves heavily, the coalition ships could be in danger. The bridge crew nodded, understanding the situation. The pirate vessel will be in range in 20 minutes, Lieutenant Park reported. They're moving fast, probably hoping to surprise the coalition ships. They'll be more surprised to find us, Colonel Choi said with a small smile. She had just returned from the shuttle and taken her position at the security station. Captain Kim opened a channel to the coalition flagship. Elder Zelfin, this is Captain Kim. The Dauntless is ready to assist. May I suggest a strategy? There was a pause before the alien leader responded. We are listening, Captain. The pirate vessel doesn't know we're here or that we're working together. Let's use that. Your ship should maintain normal positions, acting as if nothing is wrong. The Dauntless will power down our main systems and hide behind your largest ship. When the pirates approach, we'll power up and cut off their escape route. The plan was simple but effective. The coalition ships spread out in their normal formation, while the Dauntless maneuvered into position behind the massive Harmonious Unity *. Then they waited. Aboard the pirate vessel Void Reaver *, Captain Kraz laughed as he watched the coalition ships on his view screen. Look at them, just sitting there with their pretty ships. No weapons, no real shields. Easy pickings, he told his crew of outcasts from various coalition species. Which one should we hit first? Asked his first officer. The smallest one on the outer edge. We grab whatever cargo and technology we can, then jump out before they can organize a response. Same as always. Kraz had been running this operation for years. The coalition's peaceful nature made them vulnerable. Their ships weren't designed for combat, and their crews weren't trained for it. By the time they called for help, the pirates would be long gone. Approaching target range, the navigator announced. Power up weapons, Kraz ordered. Prepare tow. Captain. New contact. The sensor operator shouted. A ship just powered up behind the coalition flagship. It's nothing like I've ever seen. Kraz turned to the view screen in shock as the Dauntless emerged from behind the Harmonious Unity *, its running lights coming to life, weapon ports opening along its hull. What is that? He whispered. On the Dauntless bridge, Captain Kim stood calmly. Open a channel to the pirate vessel. Channel open. Sir. Attention pirate vessel. This is Captain Junho Kim of the Earth Defense Force ship Dauntless *. You are threatening vessels under our protection. Power down your weapons and engines immediately. There was no response, but the pirate ship suddenly changed course, attempting to flee. They're running, Captain, Lieutenant Park reported. Major Han, disable their engines. Precise shot only. Target locked, Major Han replied. Firing. A single energy beam shot from the Dauntless *, striking the pirate vessel's engine section with surgical precision. The ship's speed dropped immediately. Their engines are offline, Captain. They're dead in space. Captain Kim nodded. Coalition flagship. The threat has been neutralized. We suggest you send boarding parties to apprehend the pirates. We can provide security assistance if needed. Elder Zelfin's voice came through the speakers. Thank you, Captain Kim. We have never seen such efficient combat action. One shot, with no loss of life. Our security teams will handle the boarding. Please, once this matter is concluded, we would like to continue our discussions. 2 days later, Captain Kim, Dr. Kang, and Colonel Choi once again sat in the meeting chamber aboard the Harmonious Unity *. But the atmosphere was different now. The coalition representatives seemed less fearful, more curious. Your handling of the pirate threat was most instructive, Elder Zelfin said. You used minimum force to achieve maximum effect. No lives were lost. That's always our goal, Captain Kim replied. Humans learned through bitter experience that violence should be the last resort, not the first. But when needed, we apply it with precision and restraint. Zeltorek's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. Perhaps we have misjudged predator psychology. We assumed it would make you constantly aggressive. Instead, it seems to give you both the capability for effective defense and the wisdom to use it carefully. Not all humans show such restraint, Dr. Kang admitted honestly, but our best do. And those are the ones we choose to represent us among the stars. Elder Zelfin stood and walked to a large window that showed the stars beyond. The Coalition Council has voted. We wish to establish formal diplomatic relations with Earth. There is much we can learn from each other. Captain Kim smiled. And much we can teach each other. Your species' natural cooperation and focus on consensus could benefit humanity. Our protective instincts and defensive capabilities could benefit the Coalition. Predator and prey, Colonel Choi mused. Working together instead of running from each other. Elder Zelfin turned, his large eyes showing an emotion the humans were beginning to recognize as happiness. Indeed, when our scout ship first scanned your warship, we were terrified by what we saw. Now we understand that the same traits that make you dangerous can also make you the guardians of peace. Captain Kim stood and extended his hand in the human gesture of friendship. After a moment of hesitation, Elder Zelfin reached out and took it. 2 evolutionary paths, separated by millions of years of different experiences, joined in understanding. The predators of Earth and the peaceful species of the Coalition had taken their first steps toward a new future, together. 6 months later, a new ship launched from Earth's orbital shipyards. It was called the Protector *, and its design combined human defensive technology with Coalition aesthetics. Its mission was to patrol the borders of both human and Coalition space, ensuring the safety of all species. On its side was a new emblem, a human hand and an alien hand joined together against the backdrop of stars. Captain Jun-Ho Kim stood on its bridge as the Protector * prepared for its maiden voyage. He looked at his crew, a mixture of humans and Coalition species working side by side. Communications, he said to Lieutenant Park. Inform Earth Command and the Coalition Council that we are ready to depart. Message sent, Captain, Park replied. They wish us peaceful journeys. Kim nodded and gave the order. Take us out. The stars stretched into lines as the Protector * jumped to faster than light speed, carrying the hopes of 2 very different civilizations into the unknown future.